The Starlight transformed. Captain Jake Morrison commanded the UHS Defiance, observing alien vessels navigate the cosmos like shimmering aquatic creatures in the inky abyss. A mere 3 months prior, humanity believed itself singular in the universe. That illusion shattered. Initial contact occurred unexpectedly. The Earth's Pride, a deep space mining vessel, diligently extracted precious metals from the asteroid belt near Proxima Centauri until an encounter with an extraterrestrial entity. Initial fear gripped the miners as colossal alien ships materialized. However, their anxiety subsided as the aliens initiated communication instead of aggression. The Earth Galactic Empire, as they identified themselves, sought a dialogue. Towering beings with azure skin and powerful forearms, clad in shimmering armor, wielded energy weapons that sliced through steel effortlessly. Their formidable leader, War Commander Aller, was a colossal alien, standing at 8 feet, his voice a thunderous roar. The Zephyrians proclaimed to humanity their dominion over 47 star systems. They proclaimed themselves sovereign over this galactic sector, asserting human integration into their dominion, irrespective of consent. Captain Morrison recalled the inaugural encounter at Haven Point, a space station strategically positioned between human and extraterrestrial territories. The station emerged swiftly, post-contact, a haven for mutual accord. Leading humanity was the astute Admiral Lisa Carter, a 20-year Earth military veteran, adept at diplomacy, crucial given the Zephyrins' complex nature. Warlord Thieler arrived, flanked by 50 warriors. They stormed into the meeting room, radiating absolute authority. The extraterrestrial commander was a tapestry of battle scars, a testament to conflicts past. His forearms twitched, suggesting a readiness to seize a weapon at a hair's breadth notice. "Humans," Exhaler rasped in fractured English. "You shall assimilate into the Empire. You shall relinquish the treasures of your worlds as tribute. You shall dispatch your populace to construct our vessels. You shall submit to our dominion." Admiral Carter remained composed at the table. She had stared down pirates and insurgents previously. A cosmic tyrant was merely another challenge to conquer. "We acknowledge your proposal," she stated graciously. "However, humanity cherishes its autonomy above all else. We welcome the prospect of commerce with your empire. We could exchange insights and supplies, yet we shall never relinquish our sovereignty." Exer's multifaceted eyes widened in disbelief. He appeared utterly bewildered, as if confronted with an inconceivable notion. "Every species integrated into the Empire," he stated haltingly. "Universal compliance is the galaxy's very foundation." Admiral Carter countered, "That paradigm doesn't apply to us." The alien commander pivoted towards his troops, unleashing a torrent of guttural commands. A wave of bewilderment rippled across their ranks, mirroring their leader's initial shock. "Clearly you are missing the gravity here," Vexler retorted, facing the humans. "The Empire boasts thousands of warships. It wields planet-shattering weaponry. You possess a paltry handful of outdated vessels, armed with feeble armaments." Captain Morrison advanced. Though younger than Admiral Carter, his experience in Earth's brutal resource conflicts had instilled in him a deep understanding of confronting overwhelming odds. "Commander Vexler," Morrison stated serenely, "allow me to illuminate a few truths about humanity. We've extended every courtesy. We've proposed alliances and commerce. We've demonstrated profound respect for your civilization and its remarkable accomplishments." The alien commander inclined forward, his battle-worn visage reflecting keen interest. "Let me be unequivocally clear," Morrison asserted, his tone resolute and measured. "We yield to no one. We remain unbowed. Our liberty is inviolable. Diplomacy was our earnest endeavor, the morally correct path. Yet provoke us, and you shall unveil a facet of humanity that will displease you profoundly." The Exhaler chuckled, a grating sound reminiscent of stones grinding against each other. Dare you menace the Empire, you insignificant species with your feeble vessels? Morrison countered, his voice unwavering. I'm not issuing a threat. I'm delivering a stark premonition, a crucial distinction. We seek no conflict, desiring only harmonious coexistence. But should you compel us to war, we shall meet your challenge with unyielding resolve. Our fight will persist without pause until ultimate victory is secured or our last breath is drawn. Silence descended, the alien ranks visibly unsettled. They had subjugated countless worlds, yet utterances of this nature were unprecedented. Vexaler scrutinized Morrison intently. The human was dwarfed by a Zephyrian juvenile, but his gaze evoked a disquieting sensation within the alien commander. If necessity dictates, we shall contend against the Empire, even if it demands 1,000 ships and 1,000,000 soldiers, Morrison asserted with unwavering resolve. Admiral Carter rose and strode to the panoramic window overlooking the cosmos. Human vessels drifted close, dwarfed by the imposing alien warships. Commander, she stated, her back still turned, your Dominion has subjugated 47 star systems. A truly remarkable achievement. Yet I question, did any of those civilizations mount a genuine resistance? Or did they simply capitulate at the sight of your formidable fleet? Bixler offered no reply, his silence speaking volumes. Humans, Carter pressed on, are a breed apart. For millennia, humanity waged war against itself, battling over sustenance, resources, territories, ideologies, indeed everything imaginable. We honed our combat skills when facing an overwhelming odds, mastering the art of victory even when it appeared unattainable. We discovered the profound truth that the most diminutive warrior, armed with intellect, resilience, and unwavering resolve, can topple the mightiest adversary. She pivoted, confronting the alien commander directly. We extend an olive branch of amity one final time. Partner in commerce, glean wisdom from our expertise. In turn, enlighten us with your insights. Together, our prosperity and influence shall burgeon. Dixaller rose, his armor resonating with a metallic clang. The Empire craves not camaraderie, but subservience. You are granted a 7-day reprieve for deliberation. Compliance ensures your survival. Defiance invites the Empire's forceful subjugation. The extraterrestrials departed the station. Captain Morrison observed their vessels vanishing into hyperspace. Do you truly believe they will heed us? Admiral Carter inquired. Morrison responded with a measured headshake. Negatory. They perceive our species as feeble due to the diminutive size of our spacecraft. They anticipate our retreat, assuming we'll be intimidated by their superior numbers. But they've yet to encounter a soul who dares to defy their commands. Then we should brace ourselves, Carter stated firmly. Indeed, Morrison concurred gravely. We issued fair warnings. We strove for peace, yet they refused to heed. When they inevitably return, they'll discover the dire consequences of provoking humanity beyond its limits. The celestial tapestry remained unaltered, yet everything was irrevocably transformed. Humanity braced for interstellar conflict. The galaxy would soon witness the tenacity of seemingly fragile Earthlings. A week elapsed, each day amplifying the impending doom. Finally, they arrived. War Commander Vexaler materialized with the formidable Imperial Third Fleet. 200 warships emerged from hyperspace, encroaching upon human borders. Even the most diminutive alien craft dwarfed humanity's largest, while the flagships resembled colossal, weaponized metropolises. Standing tall in the command center, Admiral Ben Walker surveyed New Geneva Colony. Colossal windows revealed the alien armada assembling into flawless battle arrays, a sight that would instantly break the will of lesser species. Sir, Intelligence Officer Rachel Torres reported, we're receiving widespread reports from every sector along the border. After dedicating months to unraveling the mysteries of the Zephyrians, she knew their fleet ominously hovered at the edge of our territory. A preemptive strike hadn't been launched, but their presence served as a stark warning. Walker, a seasoned veteran with 3 decades of combat experience against pirates and insurgents, offered a solemn nod. Though he had never faced anything like this alien armada, fear wasn't a factor. Concern, yes, but outright fear, absolutely not. "What's our naval strength?" he inquired. 47 warships, sir," Torres responded, augmented by a fleet of civilian volunteers. Walker nearly cracked a smile. When the call for aid echoed, countless private vessels rallied. Freighters, resource extractors, passenger transports, even solo spacecraft. Their leaders were acutely aware of the mortal risks, yet they bravely advanced. The commander contacted Dr. Sam Phillips at his console. Phillips, the principal military scientist, possessed a slender frame and prominent spectacles, giving him the air of a scholar more suited to a study than the heart of combat operations. "The extraterrestrials are initiating their display," he stated. On the main screen, they observed a colossal Zephranian dreadnought advancing toward a sizable asteroid. The vessel, dubbed the Eternal Dominion, stretched an immense 5 miles in length. Weapon emplacements lining its formidable hull initiated a brilliant azure luminescence. "Merely flexing their power," Walker murmured. The extraterrestrial behemoth unleashed its fury. Beams of concentrated energy incinerated the asteroid, transmuting it into radiant dust within moments. The detonation's radiance pierced the void, starkly visible even from New Geneva, a staggering 90 million miles distant. "Remarkable," Dr. Phillip mused, straightening his spectacles, yet ultimately anticipated. A hostile battlecruiser of extraterrestrial origin unleashed a barrage upon a separate asteroid. In this instance, they deployed plasma cannons that transmuted solid rock into molten metal, which drifted in the void like luminous, fiery droplets. This display persisted for a full 2 hours. The extraterrestrials obliterated numerous asteroids, each time showcasing a unique arsenal. Their aim was to impress upon humanity their unparalleled might. They sought to instill terror within the human spirit. Back on New Geneva, Colonel Amy Rogers observed this overwhelming spectacle from the confines of the military installation. She oversaw all planetary ground forces, 10,000 stalwart volunteers ready for a final stand. Civilian families remained near the base, declining government evacuation offers. "Colonel," boomed Sergeant Pete Johnson, an 8-year veteran, "town families are eager to assist in the defense." Rogers, unsurprised, reflected on unwavering human nature. In moments of peril, they united rather than scattered. "Convey our gratitude for their proposition," she articulated. "Enlist their aid with provisions and intelligence. Should the extraterrestrials descend, every individual will be crucial." Meanwhile, in the cosmos, the alien armada concluded its exhibition. War Commander Vexilor initiated a galactic broadcast targeting all human vessels and settlements. "Hear me, humans," his voice reverberated through the cosmos. "Witness the might of the Vexilor Empire. Your starships are mere trinkets against our colossal fleet. Your armaments insignificant. Submit unconditionally, and you shall be spared. Resist and face absolute annihilation. Captain Jake Morrison of the UHS Defiance. Hearken to the extraterrestrial commander's decree." His flagship strategically hovered, masking the main human armada behind the gaseous behemoth, Kepler 442b. Though dwarfed by the alien armada, Morrison remained unperturbed by sheer scale. "Admiral Carter summons all vessel commanders for a conclusive parley," intoned Lieutenant Mary Foster, his comms specialist. Morrison gave a curt nod, activating his comms. The screens lit up with 43 determined ship captains, veterans, and rookies from all across human-controlled space. Each one shared an unwavering resolve. None appeared even remotely willing to yield. Admiral Lisa Carter materialized on the primary display. Aboard the flagship UHS Liberty, she addressed the assembled captains. The enemy has revealed their might, seeking to instill awe and dread, hoping we surrender. Are you truly impressed? A resounding "Yes, ma'am" echoed, acknowledging the immensity of their ships. Their armaments are formidable. Do you feel trepidation? Affirmative, Captain, he confessed frankly. Any rational individual would experience fear. Are you prepared to yield? This time the response resonated like a tempest from 43 throats in unison. Negative, Captain. Carter's lips curled into a smile, the first display of such emotion witnessed in recent days. Excellent. Doctor. Phillips, unveil our creation. Dr. Phillips materialized on screen, retaining his librarian facade, yet now with a glint of menace. Captains, he announced, his voice a low hum. These aliens underestimate us, judging our quaint vessels and archaic weaponry as inferior. They are on the precipice of discovering that antiquated technology harbors unforeseen benefits, advantages they couldn't possibly fathom. He unveiled a display showcasing the human fleet's classified arsenal, electromagnetic pulse mines, capable of crippling alien technology, revolutionary AI systems designed to analyze and anticipate enemy strategies in real-time combat, high-velocity kinetic weapons, employing pure physics to obliterate even the most formidable armor. The aliens, Phillips declared, were about to face an entirely new level of warfare. Massive warships, devastating firepower, inflexible strategies. They anticipate a conventional fight. Will shatter that expectation. Captain Morrison scrutinized the blueprints. Ingenious, yet born of desperation. Humanity will fight with unmatched ferocity, armed with every conceivable weapon. And one final detail, Admiral Carter added, the enemy boasts of their overwhelming strength. A stark warning. Captain Morrison, care to relay our reply? Morrison affirmed, opening a comm channel. Supreme Commander Vexaler, he began, his voice unwavering, we acknowledge your display of force. Your vessels command respect, your armaments are formidable, and annihilation is within your grasp. He paused, allowing a false sense of victory to permeate their ranks. However, Morrison continued, you gravely miscalculated. You presume a display of brute force will inspire terror? Nay, it reveals you as mere despots, wielding fear as your pathetic instrument of control. Peace was within your grasp, yet you embraced conflict. The comms buzzed with guttural alien pronouncements in their abrasive tongue. You demanded our surrender in 7 days, Morrison retorted. You have a mere hour to evacuate our territory. Subsequently, we'll unveil the repercussions of menacing human families. Silence blanketed the channel, shattered by Vexaler's furious return. You'll rue this, he roared. The Empire will obliterate you. Morrison coolly countered, perhaps, however, we cautioned against provocation. You disregarded our warnings. The ensuing events rest solely on your decision, not ours. An extraterrestrial armada initiated its advance towards human-occupied space. Hostilities were imminent above New Geneva. Youngsters gazed at the celestial illuminations, questioning their guardians about the unfolding events. Parents embraced them tightly, reassuring them of their safety. Humanity's finest warriors would defend their celestial home. A mere 43 human starships braced themselves against an overwhelming force of 200 alien warships. The imbalance of power appeared insurmountable. The humans possessed an element alien to their foes, utter desperation fueled by a burning cause. Time was fleeting. Soon the galaxy would witness the unyielding might behind the human declaration. Tread carefully. The moment arrived. War Commander Vexaler initiated the assault precisely as dawn broke on Earth. The Zephyrian Armada surged onward, an impenetrable barrier of steel and annihilation. 200 warships advanced in flawless synchronicity, their armaments primed. Bathed in azure light, Vexaler stood on the command deck of his flagship, the Eternal Dominion. He simmered with rage at humanity's defiance, yet exuded unwavering confidence. This conflict would conclude within 2 hours, perhaps even sooner. "Unleash the forward gunships," he declared. A swarm of 50 alien warships shattered formation, surging towards human space. These swift attack vessels were engineered for swift annihilation. Each possessed the firepower to obliterate a metropolis. Yet, upon infiltrating human territory, an anomaly emerged. The human fleet was conspicuously absent from their predicted location. Captain Jake Morrison surveyed the scene from the UHS Defiance's bridge. Alien vessels pierced the void, while the human fleet lay cloaked behind the colossal Kepler 442b, leveraging its immense gravity to obscure their thermal emissions. "They're hunting for us in entirely the wrong sector," Lieutenant Mary Foster remarked, a faint smile playing on her lips. Morrison concurred with a nod. The aliens waged war as they always had: blunt, overpowering strength, unyielding strategies. Effective on all previously subjugated species, humanity proved distinct. "All ships," Morrison announced, "initiate ghost dance." The human fleet fractured into nimble packs. Instead of direct confrontation, they dispersed like autumn leaves in a gale. Amidst celestial winds, vessels soared beyond the solar plane, while others plunged beneath, some seeking sanctuary in the asteroid belt. Captain Tony Martinez helmed the formidable destroyer UHS Ranger, leading 5 nimble ships in a sweeping orbit around the alien armada. His fleet, swift and elusive, remained largely undetectable. As the extraterrestrials hunted for the core human fleet, Martinez ambushed their resupply vessels. "Target acquired," declared his weapons officer, Lieutenant Dan Cooper, unleashing a torpedo. Unlike the advanced alien weaponry, this projectile was elegantly simple, classically effective, and utterly devastating. It slammed into an alien freighter, detonating with a spectacular burst, scattering metallic debris across the cosmos. The extraterrestrials were baffled. From whence did that assault originate? They redirected their heavy artillery toward Martinez's vessels, yet the humans had already vanished. Concealed within the asteroid belt, Dr. Sam Phillips observed the engagement from his tactical headquarters. His clandestine armaments were ultimately being deployed. As the alien spacecraft endeavored to locate the dispersed human ships, they activated the initial shock. "EMP mines deployed," Philip murmured, his voice barely audible. Cloaked in a drift in the void for days, the insidious devices now sprang to life. A wave of electromagnetic fury engulfed the alien fleet, tearing through their defenses and crippling their precision. In a stunning reversal, their vaunted technology morphed from an asset into a crippling liability. The commander contacted his aide, Lieutenant Karen Bell. Alien spacecraft designations Delta 7 to Delta 12 reported complete main weapon systems failure. Philip smirked from behind his Coke bottle glasses. The invaders were completely unprepared for such old-school warfare. They had no defense against weaponry undetectable by their advanced systems. Admiral Lisa Carter helmed the formidable heavy cruiser UHS Liberty. She patiently observed the alien disorientation before issuing her subsequent directive. "All vessels, commence Phase 2. Unleash a swift and devastating assault." The human armada then launched a coordinated offensive from 6 distinct vectors. Nimble, rapid interceptors weaved through the alien ranks, stinging like enraged hornets. They unleashed a barrage of missiles, torpedoes, and kinetic projectiles before vanishing once more. Lieutenant Commander Kelly Brooks helmed the science vessel UHS Discovery. Aboard her ship resided humanity's most sophisticated tech, adaptive AI systems constantly evolving. Each battle second fuels AI analysis of enemy patterns, Brooks declared. The extraterrestrial forces are attempting to reconstitute their battle formation, transmitting revised countermeasures to all human vessels. As the Zephyrian Armada floundered to coordinate its colossal fleet, the human AI had already anticipated their moves. It forecasted alien maneuvers and disseminated cutting-edge attack strategies to human ships instantaneously. Leading the charge, Commander Steve Harrison spearheaded a boarding party from the formidable assault ship UHS Warrior. After an alien cruiser succumbed to an EMP mine, its shields collapsing, Harrison's elite team swiftly deployed magnetic grapples, securing their agile vessel to the enemy hull. "Breaching now," Harrison declared as his squad wielded plasma torches, relentlessly carving through the alien armor. 30 seconds until the breach. Never before had the alien vessels endured such brutal boarding assaults. Their warships were meticulously crafted for ship-to-ship combat, ill-prepared for elite soldiers storming their confined corridors. Upon the breach, Harrison's squad encountered alien personnel utterly bewildered by close-quarters combat. Humanity, forged in the crucible of the hunt, thrived in this chaotic ballet of carnage. For millennia, they relentlessly pursued quarry across vast plains and dense forests. Sculpted for resilience, unyielding tenacity, and ferocious defense when trapped. The towering, robust Zephyrians tragically discovered that sheer size was irrelevant in confined ship passageways. War Commander Vexaler grimly witnessed his flawless battle strategy disintegrate. Human ships materialized and vanished like phantoms. His advanced sensors struggled to track them. His formidable weapons failed to strike them. And now audacious humans were infiltrating his ships, engaging his elite soldiers in brutal close combat. "All ships reorganize into a defensive perimeter," he thundered. But his once imposing fleet was fragmented across vast light minutes of space. Some vessels were crippled, power depleted. Others were locked in fierce battles with relentless boarding parties. Still others were lured into cunning ambushes by elusive human ships. Captain Morrison emerged from the asteroid's shadow in the battered UHS Defiance. Though scarred from a previous assault, his ship remained a defiant warrior. The bridge choked with smoke as sparks danced from crippled consoles, yet Morrison's crew stood firm. "Sir," reported Lieutenant Foster, "we're being hunted by 3 alien warships." Morrison's gaze narrowed on the tactical display. The extraterrestrial crafts possessed superior velocity and might compared to his own. In a direct confrontation, they would obliterate him without question. However, Morrison planned to use cunning instead of head-on combat. "Initiate entry into the gravity well," he commanded. Foster was stunned, replying, "Sir, that's incredibly perilous. Approaching the gas giant too closely will—" "Have faith," Morrison stated assuredly. The UHS Defiance plunged towards the colossal Kepler 442b. 3 extraterrestrial vessels pursued, unleashing their energy cannons. Blasts of cerulean energy whizzed past the human craft, yet Morrison's pilot was far too adept to be struck. Nearing the world, the gravitational forces intensified dramatically. Outmatched no more, the nimble human vessel deftly endured the intensifying strain while colossal alien warships started faltering. "Now," Morrison declared as the Defiance weaponized the planet's gravity, catapulting around it at breathtaking velocity. The cumbersome alien behemoths simply lacked the agility to mirror such a daring maneuver. One plummeted into the planet's atmosphere, consumed by flames. The remaining 2 lagged far behind, incapable of matching the human ship's trajectory. Throughout the combat arena, comparable scenarios unfolded. Human vessels weaponized asteroids, planets, and even derelict alien spacecraft. They battled with the resourcefulness of their earthbound forebears, exploiting the environment as an invaluable asset. Dr. Phillips unleashed his ultimate gambit. Concealed human vessels scattered across the star system initiated a barrage of deceptive signals. The Zephyrin's sensors, already crippled by EMP weaponry, were unable to differentiate genuine warships from illusory decoys. Abruptly, the Zephins perceived the human fleet as being 3 times its actual size. "Sir," Lieutenant Bell announced, "the extraterrestrials are attempting a withdrawal." Phillips observed his monitors as the formidable Zephyrian fleet initiated their strategic fallback. They anticipated a swift triumph over the underdeveloped humans. Instead, they encountered adversaries who transformed every vulnerability into a formidable advantage. "Allow their departure," Phillips stated calmly, "but ensure this encounter etches itself into their memory." As the extraterrestrial ships desperately retreated, human vessels relentlessly pursued them, ensuring their continued flight. The initial phase of the conflict concluded, unbelievably, with a human triumph. However, the war commander remained vigilant. While his battered fleet reorganized at the system's periphery, a chilling realization dawned upon him. These humans exhibited a tenacity unlike any species the Empire had subjugated. They battled with a relentless spirit, as if surrender was an alien concept. The conflict raged on, far from its conclusion. However, the galaxy now grasped a crucial truth about the seemingly insignificant Earthlings. When humans declared, "Do not push us," it was an inviolable vow. War Commander Vexaler, standing on his bridge, was gripped by an unfamiliar sensation. Raw, unadulterated fear. His formidable armada was crumbling. Star system-conquering ships were annihilated by insignificant human vessels. Invincible soldiers deserted their posts, gripped by sheer terror. "Report," he thundered at his comms officer. "Sir, 68 ships lost. The humans decimated our supply convoy. 3 intense boarding parties are engaged in fierce combat within our cruisers," the officer announced, his voice trembling with urgency. "Sir," double quotes, "the humans are steadfast, refusing to yield. Even facing complete annihilation, they weaponize their crippled ships, turning them into devastating their projectiles against our own vessels." Dexter was utterly astounded. Every subjugated species crumbled and fled at the first sign of defeat. Yet these humans fought with unyielding ferocity, even in the face of certain death. Captain Jake Morrison's vessel, the UHS Defiance, was on the verge of collapse. Nearly half the crew sustained injuries. Its engines sputtered erratically, and ammunition dwindled to near empty. Yet surrender never entered Morrison's mind. "Captain," Lieutenant Mary Foster announced from her battered console, "the alien flagship is attempting to flee towards the outer solar system." Morrison scrutinized his tactical display. A colossal alien dreadnought, the Eternal Dominion, was disengaging from the conflict, charting a course for the system's edge, poised to initiate a hyperspace jump. "Not on my watch," Morrison murmured, his voice firm. He broadcast a system-wide message to all Allied ships. "Attention all vessels, this is Captain Morrison. The alien commander is attempting to flee. We absolutely cannot allow that. He must comprehend that aggression against humanity carries severe repercussions." Admiral Lisa Carter's voice crackled over the radio from the UHS Liberty. "Morrison, your vessel is critically damaged. You are unable to confront that dreadnought single-handedly." "I am not alone," Morrison retorted. "I have all of you backing me." Across the star system, every surviving human vessel raced towards the alien flagship. Crippled destroyers, battered cruisers, and even civilian ships rallied to the pursuit, resembling a pack of wolves relentlessly stalking a colossal bear. Commander Lisa Santos helmed the stealth frigate UHS Ghost. Though engineered for reconnaissance, not direct conflict, Santos envisioned a bolder strategy. Concealed by the alien flagship for a full hour, she patiently awaited the optimal opportunity. "Ghost to all vessels," she broadcasted. "I am primed to neutralize their primary weaponry. Provide suppressive fire." The human armada unleashed a ferocious assault on the alien flagship from every angle. Luminous energy blasts and homing missiles illuminated the cosmos as the immense vessel desperately attempted to retaliate. As the extraterrestrials were completely consumed by the primary offensive, Santos expertly maneuvered her nimble craft perilously close to the dreadnought's core. "Charges armed," she announced. Santos expertly secured a compact nuclear device to the alien flagship's primary weapon system. Though diminutive relative to the colossal warship, its placement was meticulously calculated for maximum destructive impact. "All vessels, immediate evacuation," Santos commanded. A blinding white eruption engulfed the alien vessel as the bomb detonated. The flagship's formidable weaponry was rendered inert. In an instant, the Zephyrian fleet's once mighty flagship was rendered utterly vulnerable. Commander Rick Johnson, lying in wait with his squadron concealed by the asteroid field, seized the opportunity. At his command were 12 human ships, previously held in strategic reserve. Witnessing the alien flagship crippled, he recognized the decisive moment to unleash their ambush. All vessels engaged attacked Vector Delta, sealing off their avenues of retreat. Johnson's elite squadron materialized from stealth, strategically interposing themselves between the extraterrestrial armada and the system's perimeter. The Zephyrians were ensnared, squeezed between our pursuing warships and Johnson's intercepting assault group. Supreme Commander Dex Holler at long last grasped the unfolding strategy. Humanity's engagements had been meticulously calculated, not indiscriminate skirmishes. His fleet suffered grievously, herded like defenseless creatures into the humans' calculated trap. "Unthinkable," he breathed. "They're insignificant, frail. How do they triumph?" Sexter, his second, a battle-worn commander etched with scars, stared at the unfolding strategy with deepening dread. "Commander, their ferocity in battle is unparalleled. They disregard conventional combat doctrines, evolving strategies against our every move. What's chilling, sir, is their apparent indifference to death, prioritizing our harm above all else. We paid a gruesome price. 21 valiant ships obliterated. Countless heroes perished. Yet the remaining soldiers fought back with a savage intensity that petrified the invaders. With unwavering resolve, Captain Morrison steered the crippled UHS Defiance toward the menacing alien flagship. The vessel hemorrhaged atmosphere and radiated deadly energy. Imminent engine detonation loomed, yet Morrison possessed a final, audacious gambit. "All hands abandon ship," he declared with solemn command. "This is Captain Morrison. Serving alongside you has been a distinct honor." As his crew dispersed in escape pods, Morrison remained steadfast on the bridge, guiding his vessel for a head-on collision with the alien flagship's nerve center. "Morrison, what in the world are you up to?" Admiral Carter's voice boomed over the comms. "Bringing this to a close, Admiral," Morrison responded coolly. The UHS Defiance, hurtling forward with immense velocity, slammed into the unyielding Dominion like a guided projectile. The cataclysmic impact breached the alien vessel's defenses, obliterating 3 entire levels. Morrison perished in the cataclysmic blast, yet he vanquished 200 alien adversaries. War Commander Dex Holler was violently hurled across the bridge by the immense force. Staggering to his feet, he realized his vessel was mortally wounded. Energy reserves dwindled. Vital atmosphere escaped into the void. His esteemed flagship transformed into a desolate sepulcher. Still, humanity's resolve remained unbroken. Admiral Carter orchestrated the culminating offensive. Human ships converged upon the dwindling alien fleet like a swarm of enraged hornets. They deployed every strategy honed throughout the conflict. EMP mines neutralized alien shields. Incursion teams seized control of alien vessels from within. Agile fighters executed swift, disruptive strikes, pushing the aliens to utter despair. Leading the charge, Commander Steve Harrison embarked with his Marines onto yet another alien cruiser. The Jeffrins desperately attempted resistance, yet they were utterly unprepared for human close-quarters combat. Though physically larger and possessing greater strength, the aliens were outmatched by human speed, superior intellect, and an unyielding refusal to surrender. "Sir, the alien crew is yielding," Harrison announced, his team securing the bridge. Across the war zone, alien vessels were either surrendering or desperately retreating. The formidable Zephyrian Third Fleet was being decimated by a foe they had underestimated as feeble and undeveloped. Dr. Sam Phillips observed the battle's culmination from his command station. His ingenious weaponry and strategies had functioned flawlessly, yet the true triumph resided with the valiant human crews whose bravery astonished even him. "Sir," Lieutenant Coran Bell announced, "the surviving alien vessels are attempting to withdraw. Shall we give chase?" Phillips contemplated this intently. Humanity had achieved an astounding victory, but at a considerable cost. Countless good souls perished. Numerous vessels were obliterated. "Release a contingent," he decreed at last. "Ensure they deliver a dire warning to their dominion." Admiral Carter established a link to the retreating alien ships. "Admiral Carter, human fleet," she stated, her tone like glacial ice. "You arrived to subjugate us. You menaced our loved ones. You brazenly demanded our capitulation. We cautioned you against provoking us, yet you stubbornly persisted." She paused for dramatic effect. "Return to your faltering empire. Recount the events that transpired here. Convey that humanity will never yield. Insist that genuine peace requires sincere compromise. But should they desire conflict, they will face a far greater war than they could ever imagine." The remaining alien vessels vanished into hyperspace, bearing tidings of the unthinkable route to the Zephan Dominion. War strategist Vexher was extracted from his flagship's ruins by a human recovery squad. As they escorted him to safety, he glanced back at the scattered remnants where his formidable armada had once reigned. "Unfathomable," he murmured to the human medic, tending to his injuries. "How were you able to overcome us?" The medic, a young woman, Dr. Julie Parker, regarded him with what seemed like compassion. "Because we're fueled by ideals you can't comprehend," she stated plainly. "We're driven by the desire to protect our liberty, cherish our loved ones, and secure our destiny. And we will relentlessly fight for those ideals." Vexler shuttered his eyes, a chilling realization dawning. The Zephyrian Empire had unleashed an unstoppable force, a relentless entity with no concept of surrender. The hunter had tragically become the prey, forever altering the galaxy's destiny. The conflict ceased, yet an eerie stillness lingered. Admiral Issa Carter, resolute on the UHS Liberty's bridge, gazed upon the wreckage that was formerly the formidable Zephyrian Third Fleet. Fragments of extraterrestrial vessels shimmered in the cosmos like ethereal, silvery foliage. Hauntingly, derelict human starships also lingered there, frigid and lifeless. Their crews vanished into eternity. "Final casualty assessment at Admiral," reported Lieutenant Bob Hayes, his voice somber. Admiral Carter received the grim report with unwavering resolve, yet her spirit was burdened. 21 valiant human spacecraft obliterated, 437 courageous lives extinguished. These were not mere statistics flashing on a display, but profound losses. These were comrades, kin, individuals who had elected to struggle instead of yield. "What of the extraterrestrials?" Shuchi inquired. A staggering 168 vessels, obliterated or seized. Nearly 12,000 alien fatalities. A mere 32 ships fled into hyperspace. Carter acknowledged deliberately. The statistics painted a clear picture. A modest human squadron had decimated the majority of a colossal alien war fleet. Yet triumph invariably demands sacrifice. In revitalized New Geneva, citizens emerged from shelters, gazing at the celestial expanse. The chaotic light show above had ceased. The agonizing symphony of war was silenced. Youngsters questioned their guardians about the departure of the malevolent extraterrestrials, receiving affirmative responses tinged with sorrow for those who perished ensuring that victory. Colonel Amy Rogers stood solemnly in the town square, a memorial already rising. Citizens offered flowers, cherished photos, and deeply personal mementos to commemorate the fallen. A young girl, Lucy Adams, tenderly placed a spaceship drawing beside Captain Jake Morrison's portrait. "Do you think the aliens will ever return?" Lucy queried, her voice filled with uncertainty. Rogers knelt, meeting the child's gaze with unwavering compassion. Exhausted, grimy, and sleep-deprived for 48 hours, she maintained a serene tone. "Perhaps," she conceded with sincerity, "however, should they retaliate, we shall be prepared. They now comprehend the consequences of engaging humankind in conflict." Across the vast expanse of the galaxy, within the Zephyrian Empire, the battered vessels returned, burdened with astonishing tidings. Within Zephyr Prime's Grand Hall, the esteemed Imperial Council convened. For 3 centuries, these majestic beings had governed 47 star systems. War Commander Dexter, swathed in bandages, faced them, his forearms trembling as he somberly reported, "The Third Fleet is obliterated. The humans vanquished us utterly." The council members exchanged stunned glances. Grand Chancellor Vex Mara, the most ancient and formidable Zephyrian Quinich, inclined forward on her throne. "Elucidate how an underdeveloped race annihilated our elite fleet," she demanded. Vexer grappled for a response. How could he articulate the events he'd observed? How could he convey their comprehension? "Their combat transcends conventional species," he began hesitantly. "They never yield, even when overwhelmingly outnumbered. They never retreat, even when facing defeat. They weaponized our power against us, transforming our size into a vulnerability. They battled with unfamiliar armaments and unpredictable strategies." Are you suggesting that beings with rudimentary technology vanquished advanced Zephyrian warships? Council member Kickstar inquired. "Negative," Dexler responded. "I'm conveying to you that we battled something far more perilous than cutting-edge tech. We confronted a species utterly relentless. Even with their vessels decimated, they weaponized them. Even on the brink of demise, their combat continued. They transmuted sheer desperation into formidable power." Grand Chancellor Vex Mara remained silent for an extended period. Having lived for 2 centuries and witnessed the Empire's subjugation of numerous worlds, she had never encountered such a dire report. "What is your recommendation?" she inquired at last. Vex Aller met the Council's gaze with world-weary eyes, stating plainly, "Leave them be. The humans propose peace and commerce, attempting diplomacy. We opted for conflict and discovered the implications of engaging in war with humanity. Should we strike once more, their relentless pursuit will only cease upon the utter annihilation of every Zephyrian vessel." A cacophony of outrage filled the council chamber. Certain members clamored for swift retribution, while others insisted on dispatching a more formidable armada thus to finalize the mission the Third Fleet initiated. However, High Chancellor Vex Mara, aged and sagacious, gestured for quietude, comprehending the underlying message being conveyed. "Do you truly believe they'd battle to their last breath?" "Absolutely," Dexala affirmed, unwavering, "and they'd drag us down with them." Meanwhile, deep in human territory, Dr. Sam Phillips finalized his report on the devastating conflict. Seated amidst a storm of battle telemetry and combat logs in his lab, his aides had left for their loved ones, yet Philip remained, meticulously chronicling the events. Personal log, Dr. Sam Phillips. He addressed his recorder. "The Kepler 442b conflict is resolved. Humankind has secured its initial triumph against an extraterrestrial power, though the price was staggering. We mourn the loss of exceptional individuals, valiant souls who perished safeguarding their liberty and their kin." He hesitated, adjusting his spectacles. The Zephyrians arrived anticipating a swift victory. Having subdued 47 species through intimidation and sheer power, they committed a critical error. They presumed all intelligent life would respond identically to aggression. Phillips then projected a visual showcasing human battle strategies. Humans are unique. For eons, we sharpened our edge as relentless persistence hunters. Across vast, untamed landscapes, we pursued our quarry until their very last gasp. We forged an unbreakable spirit, learning to adapt, to conquer, transforming every setback into a powerful opportunity. The Zephyrians presented a stark choice: subjugation or oblivion. They tragically underestimated humanity's resolve. Humans would embrace oblivion before surrendering to enslavement, finding ingenious ways to vanquish their foes. As their presence loomed over Earth, President Helen Murphy delivered a momentous address from the Global Defense Council headquarters. Across the globe, captivated audiences tuned in from their homes, offices, and bustling public spaces. Citizens of Earth, she commenced, just 3 short months ago, we discovered we were not solitary in the cosmos. Today, we have unequivocally demonstrated that humanity has earned its rightful place among the stars. Displaying a roster teeming with names, a roll call of hundreds, she honored them. These valiant souls, heroes all, perished safeguarding our cherished liberty. Confronted by insurmountable challenges, they elected defiance over capitulation. Their ultimate sacrifice ensures our posterity inherits a life unburdened by tyranny. The president's voice resonated with newfound strength and conviction. We never desired this conflict. We proactively extended an olive branch, a sincere offer of peace to the Zephyrian Empire. We pursued diplomacy, commerce, and collaboration. Their surrender demands ignited our warning. They disregarded it. She met the camera's gaze head-on. Now the galaxy witnesses humanity's boundless might when provoked. Let this be a lesson etched in time, preventing future conflicts. We fervently hope other species prioritize diplomacy over hostility. However, should they opt for war, they will discover the lesson the Zephyrians painfully grasped. Humanity does not yield. Humanity does not relinquish. And humanity will fiercely defend its liberty until its final gasp. Admiral Carter observed the memorial wall's construction on New Geneva. Every inscription etched upon the obsidian memorial signified a life extinguished, a family shattered by sorrow, a future irrevocably denied. Yet simultaneously, each name embodied a conscious decision to champion a cause far surpassing individual existence. Captain Morrison's name was immortalized alongside his comrades, who selflessly sacrificed all to safeguard humanity's precious liberty. Carter reverently traced his name with her fingertips. "We cautioned them, Jake," she murmured. "We pursued a diplomatic resolution, yet they stubbornly refused to heed our warnings." A youthful 9 cautiously approached her. "Admiral," he announced, "distant sensors have picked up incoming vessels. They're definitely not Zipperan." Carter pivoted, gazing up at the starlit expanse. The galaxy was immense, brimming with untold mysteries. News of humanity's triumph would spread across the stars. Some species would extend a hand in friendship, while others might seek to challenge humanity's newfound power. "Craft a formal greeting," she commanded. "Inform them of our openness to dialogue, but ensure they grasp the significance of the battle that transpired here." The ensign acknowledged the directive and swiftly departed to transmit the communication. Carter cast a final, lingering gaze upon the memorial wall before returning to her vessel. The conflict had concluded, yet humanity's grand spacefaring saga was merely unfolding. Throughout the galaxy, a powerful truth regarding the Earthlings had reverberated. When humankind declared, "Tread carefully," they enforced absolute resolve, a painful lesson indelibly etched upon the cosmos, courtesy of the Zephyrian Empire's devastating defeat.